Is God Among Us by Camila Lobo and Valentina Mondragón.
Okay, so now we will start with the interviews we did at school.
Valentina and me need to interview some psychologists and students of the school. We interview 3 psychologists and 17 students of 10th grade. In total, we interview 20 people.
Okay, so the first question is indicate the answer according to your level of agreement with the following statements about your personal belief in a supreme being or in God. So, 65% of the people have no doubts that God exists. 25% believe in God but have some doubts. 5% were not sure and said that there is no way to find him, and 5% don't believe in God.
Do you consider yourself committed to your idea about divinity or atheism? 50% said that yes, they were committed. 25% said that sometimes according to my feelings. 20% said that I am committed, but I don't consider myself very committed. And 5% said, no, I don't practice my beliefs.
The next question is that God can exist if evil exists. 90% of the people said that this statement is true, and 10% of the people said that this statement is false.
Where does your belief come from? 65% said that from family. 15% said that personal encounter. Other 50% said that from college. And 5% said that other.
The next statement is like, in your opinion, how would you describe God? In this question, you can choose like several options. So, 14 people choose that God is always present. One person choose that He's critical. Anyone choose that He is punitive. One person choose He is shameful. For distant, and 13 forgiving.
God is interested in me and my problems. As we can see, 50% said that strongly agree, 35% that somewhat agree, 10% neutral, and 5% strongly disagree.
When good or bad things happen, I believe they are part of God's plan. 47.4% were strongly agree, 31.6% were somewhat agree, 10.5% were neutral, and 5.3% were somewhat disagree and strongly disagree.
Do you think there is a place after death for people who have done good deeds like heaven and for those who have done evil like hell? 90% said that yes, and 10% said that I don't know.
Okay, so how often do you turn your religion for help in solving problems in your life? 45% of the people said that often, 35% said that sometimes, 15% said that always, and 5% said that never.
In the interviews that we did, we asked what happens after death, and we have several answers, but most of the people says that after death we go to heaven or to hell, depend of our behavior.
Now we will continue with the interviews that were out of school.
After we interview the psychologists and the students, we need to interview some gatekeepers. Valentina interviewed 5 of she's building, and I interviewed 5 gatekeepers of my building.
Okay, so now for the gatekeepers, we will start with the first question of indicate the answer according to your level of agreement with the following statement about your personal belief in a supreme being or in God. So, 4% have no doubts that God exists, 30% believe in God but only sometimes, 20% believe in God but they have like some doubts, and 10% were not sure and said that there is like no way to find him.
Do you consider yourself committed to the idea about divinity or atheism? 40% of the gatekeepers said that yes, they were committed. Other 40% said sometimes according to my feelings. 10% said I am committed, but I don't consider myself very committed. And the last 10% said no, I don't practice my beliefs.
So the next statement is God can exist if evil exists. 60% said that this statement is true, and 40% said that this statement is false.
Where does your belief come from? 70% said that from family, 20% said that for personal encounter, and 10% said that from university.
And the next statement is, in your opinion, how would you describe God? This was the one that you can choose several options. So 6 said that he's always present, 1 said that he's punitive, 2 said that he's shameful, 1 that he is distant, and 4 people said that he's like forgiving.
God is interested in me and my problems. 50% of the gatekeepers said that strongly agree, other 30% that said that somewhat agree, and the other 20% that said that neutral.
Okay, so now when good or bad things happen, I believe they are part of God's plan. 50% were strongly agree, 10% were strongly disagree, somewhat disagree, and somewhat agree, and the other 30% were like neutral about this topic and this statement.
Do you think there is a place after death for people who have done good deeds like heaven and for those who have done evil like hell? 70% said that yes, 20% said that I don't know, and 10% said that no.
So now, how do you often turn your religion for helping solving problems in your life? 4% rarely, 10% sometimes, often, and always, and the other 30% never.
We also need to ask to the gatekeepers what happens after death. We have several answers, but most of the gatekeepers said that they were not sure what happens after death, that they have some doubts.
Finally, we will tell you like the reflection we take out of this work. First of all, people in school, as we saw before, most of them believe completely in God, while people outside of the school have like some doubts and are like not completely sure of what they believe. So we can infer that the fate of most of humans comes like from relatives, like parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, well, all of them. They plant our ideals in us like from our childhood, and while we start growing, uh, each of us decides like what to believe and what not to believe. These like always come like from what you have learned during your life, like through all the experiences you pass through make you believe in something or not. We can also see that human beings have like several doubts about the existence of God. However, that does not stop like us from believing completely in God. That is like faith is about.